Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So this is a little embarrassing, but let's talk about my second ever win in EDH Commander, and it was with my other deck, my Rigo Stadium deck. I feel like my red Spira deck is stronger. It has infinite combos, it has tutors, it has Blood Moon, but my Rigo deck is my favorite, so to get a win with it was awesome. And there's the other side. I played 2 matches, won the first and almost won the second. I'm beginning to wonder if people are taking it easy on me. But first match I played against Sephiroth of the Hidden Ways, a dungeon deck, super interesting. Then there was the Scarab God, and finally Lazlith, a mono-red dragon deck. That was pretty cool. But long story short, after 10 or so turns, the dragon deck got infinite red mana and infinite attack phases, and was going to kill everyone. But I used Teferi's Protection, which I have right here. I phased out, the other 2 players were killed, I phased back in, and then I killed the dragon player. In the last video I talked about how combo is powerful. Here we can talk about how Teferi's Protection is powerful, maybe too powerful. And at only 3 mana, I wouldn't have won without it, so there again was one single card that basically enabled me to win. I shouldn't complain, it's a legal card, people can play around it, there aren't a lot of calls for it to be banned. But again, I look at Perch Protection from Bloomborough, which costs 6 and gives a player a turn. That feels like more fair to me. But we can back up and then talk about what happened in the game. To tell the truth, the other 2 players didn't do too much. Sephiroth went through the dungeon a couple times, but didn't make a giant impact. And then the Scarab God didn't even come out once because they were mana screwed, poor guy. But I played Ginger Brute early. I was super happy to find this in foil, old border. And then I also played Joel Rail, which is one of the best cards in my deck. And then it works great early game or late game. Early game, it triggers off the draw, Riga enables, and so it creates cats. And then by the end, I had 5 of the cats. And in the late game, it can buff, so all my creatures turn into 8/8s to attack the dragon player. I will say though, I don't love Esper Sentinel. I often get it out pretty quickly, which is very lucky. And then this card is perfect for my deck. It has 1 power, it's in the main color white, I can recur it with other cards, but I always forget to check other people's plays to see if it triggers, and I don't like asking if they pay the 1 every time. What I should do is become a better, more attentive player, but I'm just considering taking it out. But then otherwise, my sweepers are really good. So like here, Battle of Bywater from Lord of the Rings. Destroy all creatures, power 3 or higher. I don't have any creatures, power 3 or higher. And then this room, which I've shown, I feel like in a couple of videos now. But yeah, they did great work. And then the second game was against Umezawa Tetsuko, Slimefoot and Squee, and Umbris, a horror-themed deck with Eldrazi. That was pretty cool. And then the Tetsuko deck had a lot of similarities to mine, including Strixhaven Stadium. And funnily enough, the first creature that I played was Tetsuko. I was like, it's an homage to your deck, and the Tetsuko player was like, this is unforgivable. He was funny, he was a character. But he built up his stadium pretty quickly, I was impressed. And for like 3 turns, he was saying to the Umbris player, I'm gonna kill you with this stadium. Because the Umbris player had an Eldrazi out, that was pretty powerful. And also because the Tetsuko player was saying that he didn't need Stadium to kill us other 2 players. But sure enough, he used the Stadium to kill the Umbris player with glee, no shame at all. Either these players were good friends or the Tetsuko player was sadistic. But the game progressed, I built up my board, again used my power 3 or higher sweepers to keep the Slimefoot player in check, and then again the Tetsuko player killed the Slimefoot player with the Stadium. It was crazy. So it was just me against him, Weenie versus Weenie, and then I played a card I was really hoping to play sometime, and that was Starlight Spectacular from Unfinity. Unfinity is a joke set, but there are a number of regularly legal cards like Starlight Spectacular here. Basically, you make a conga line of your creatures, and the one in the back gets the biggest buff. I had like 8 creatures out, I attacked with everyone I could, arranged them in a line, and then Ginger Brute was last, getting 7/7 unblockable. And the Tetsuko player hit me with an instant, I think it was March of something or other, that phased out the last 4 creatures in my conga line, blocked the rest, and then killed me the next turn. So yeah, pretty funny end, and everyone was going crazy at this card because it's silly and unknown, but also powerful. And yeah, if I had hit with my last 2 creatures alone, I would have won. But that was a great feeling to see everyone's reaction to that card. To me, that's what Magic is all about. And then I really enjoy Standard, maybe I'll make a video about that soon, but it really is a streamlined competitive format and you can't get too creative. But in Commander you can really stretch out and express yourself, play long games. And if you want to include silly things, you can do that. So yeah, I really like Commander. Alright, short report here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care.